primary function of any government at all in the world is security, and globally technology has played a significant role in ensuring the security of humans and property in every given sovereign jurisdiction. One major advantage is the ability to monitor and control security systems remotely and with the help of advanced surveillance cameras and access control system. Security personnel can keep an eye on multiple command centers. But let me ask a typical Nigerian question. Why is our case different? We'll be finding that out in the course of this program. And remember, we have our complementary segments, Simplify This and Markets. My name is Leah Katungbaba-Tunde, and this is me welcoming you to The Policy with Leah. Of course, we begin the business of the day from the trends table.
The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, has assured that the federal government will begin payment of pension backlog next week. Edun's assurance follows a peaceful rally by the Nigerian Union of Pensioners Contributory Pension Scheme Sector, NUPCPS, at the Federal Ministry of Finance in Abuja on Tuesday. Their grievances include backlogs, 2 budget cycles of non-release of funds, and absence of payment adjustments in line with minimum wage laws. Mr. Edun, who empathized with the pensioners, assured of going to the capital market and raising an instrument that allows the backlog to be cleared once and for all. A plan will be presented to the President immediately. The Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, has commenced the process for the sale of landed properties and chattels of the failed Heritage Bank. NDIC, in a statement signed by the Director, Communication and Public Affairs Department, Bashir Nuhu, in Abuja, said that the auction is to ensure timely declaration of liquidation dividends to uninsured depositors of the failed bank in line with existing guidelines. He stated that the auction of the landed assets shall be by competitive bidding in sealed bids, scheduled to take place at the 6 selected locations of the corporation across the country for the affected 36 branches of the failed bank, beginning from Wednesday, 4th December 2024. Nigeria this week underwent a World Trade Organization WTO trade policy review exercise in Geneva, Switzerland. The goal of the review, being done every 7 years, is to ensure transparency of its trade and other economic policies and practices, as well as ensure compliance to its obligations in the multilateral organization. Leading the Nigerian team is Ambassador Nura Abba-Rimi, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, along with Ambassador Adamu Mohammed Abdulhamid, Nigeria's Ambassador, Permanent Representative to the WTO. Ambassador Nura Abba-Rimi said Nigeria strongly believes that international trade and the WTO constitute veritable platforms for the realization of its overarching development objectives to structural transformation, industrialization, and economic diversification to optimize Nigeria's gains from the global trading system. Ambassador Rimi said government is undertaking reforms to boost economic growth. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, has expressed concern that its directive to Ikeja and Eco electricity distribution companies to immediately cease all activities related to the planned replacement of Unistar meters may be flouted, insisting that the directive remains in full force and any attempt by the DISCOs to proceed in contravention of it will attract severe consequences. FCCPC, in a statement, emphasized the plan replacement has been invalidated by both the FCCPC and the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, clarifying that Ikeja and Eco Discos cannot proceed with the withdrawal or replacement of the Unistar meters unless they fully comply with NEC's order on structured replacement of faulty and obsolete end-user customer meters in the Nigerian electricity supply industry. Any breach of this directive, the agency says, will attract stiff penalties in line with the provisions of existing consumer protection laws.
Ojo Emmanuel Ademola is the first Nigerian professor of cybersecurity and information technology management and the first professor of African descent to attain charter manager status. He has had a groundbreaking impact in the realms of artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, technology leadership, and management. Of course, with continuous security breaches and concerns, he joins me in this conversation on technology and national security all the way from London. It's nice to have you, Professor, join me for this conversation.
Thank you very much.
So I'd like to start by asking you, Professor, we recently woke up to stranger than fiction story that somewhere in Sokoto there's a new terror group that is recruiting people to join their version of whatever they call it and are paying enrollees as much as 1 million naira per head. And one will be tempted to ask the question, how did we get here? People come from everywhere across the borders and begin to form terror groups in Nigeria.
How we got here in Nigeria is a very good question. But let's approach it this way. There are a couple of two root causes when it comes to the issue of security, and you are calling it emergency because we have not properly addressed those two things, radicalization and recruitment. This agent of insecurity, this agent, call them terrorists, call them bandits, call them whatever you want to call them. We are talking about two basic things: radicalization, recruitment. When you handle those two things, where do we go from there? Radicalization and recruitment. What are the causes? You look at economic hardship, you look at lack of opportunities and social marginalization. All this make individual vulnerable. When there's economic hardship, when there's lack of opportunities, there is social marginalization. Each of these factors make individual vulnerable and easily turn them to extremists in their ideologies. Mm-hmm. Even people, we're talking about people of ideology and people of experience that make up the citizen. So when economic hardship, lack of opportunities, social marginalization, those three things, when they combine together, it affects ideology. It also affects experience of people.
Okay, Prof, I want to tap into your knowledge a bit because you're also an author. Is communication a missing link in this instance? Is it an issue?
I'll give an example of what is happening in the regions in Nigeria. The poverty issue, and you talk about 1 million naira payment or recruitment. When you recruit you pay you 1 million. We can counter this trend. But before we even talk about communication, let's counter this trend. Let's put an end to it. How do we do that? Let government focus more on addressing socio-economic issues. They promote education. I've written a lot of articles on that. That's one of my reasons of making a presentation to the government about the former immediate past Minister of Education. When you are talking about accessibility to when you have an Nigerian education agenda that Jonathan brought in, and nobody was doing something there. So we want to promote education and creating opportunity for individuals, especially those who are at risk. Those who are at risk, you must create opportunity to prevent radicalization and recruitment. Now to your question of communication breakdown. Thank you very much for that. With security agency, when there's no effective communication, then there will be no effective counter counter terrorism. You understand what I'm saying? Or counter banditry. When there's no effort, there's no synergy between the apparatus of government security agency. There's no synergy. And we can see that those apparatus, they are working nearly at isolation to one another. It doesn't work like that. Even hardware communication must be synchronized enough to enable a flow of communication transparently, responsibly, and ethically. So, for example, in cases where information sharing is limited to national security advisor or to the military, and the police are not carried along, or information sharing is limited to DSS and so on and so forth. It doesn't work that way, because the enemy of security will exploit those gaps in order to perpetrate their issue. How do you handle this? You need to address the communication challenges. You have to invest in technology. They are talking about penetration of internet about 0.04 in Nigeria, which is very disgusting. And we have over 200 million people. Even the military, the security agency, they don't even know how to properly improve information sharing, to make sharing of information seamless. You need to invest on technology.
Yes, I was going to ask you this technology question, Prof, because all over the place you see that technology is playing a significant role in curbing crime and criminality. But here, it looks like we prefer to have boots on ground.
There must be strategy, improving intelligence coordination, enhancing community engagement. Let A know B, let C know D. Let there be a relationship between all the digits of numbers from 0 to 9 in order to make all these things work properly. We can attain this. You are talking, your question is about this technology. You see, in the digital age, distance is not a barrier. Recently, I even wrote about ageless innovation. Technology plays a vital role in combating crime and terrorism. There's no argument about it. You see, you know where they are. You see what happened recently in Hezbollah and Israel. You see how although Israel has not claimed responsibility, you see how they unlock that through the pager technology. They did it from, you see what I'm saying? We need to be, okay, if you want to even put boot on the ground, do you know where these people are? You have to use technology first to fish them out, to know where their location is. Recently, I wrote an article which I know you are aware of about drone and forest ranger. I've been making that argument for years since this crisis started in Nigeria, that listen, invest heavily in technology, bring in experts, let our forest, for example, Sambisa forest, we can configure it, bring it into the space of cyber, and we know where these people are. So if you want to even deploy a foreign ranger, you want to deploy soldier, then they know where they are. So we need to invest in technology. That's what I'm saying, Leah. For instance, the use of surveillance camera, biometric system. You understand? We say, yeah, now we have BVN, we have NIN, then do we have accurate data to analyze all these things and identify potential threat? You see, when you invest in technology, you can identify potential threat. You can know where these people are, and you know the strategy you are going to use, even to arrest them instead of killing them. I would prefer to arrest them, put them on justice, and let them come and tell us why they did what they are doing. And at the end of the day, then serve appropriate judgment. So with technology, you can get all these things done significantly. You strengthen your law enforcement, you strengthen your national security effort, and all this will help you to combat crime and terrorism.
Now, we saw recently that the newly elected president of the United States of America, that's President-elect Trump, insisting on securing the borders. He campaigned on that, and he's insisting he's going to go ahead and do that and keep the illegals out. Now we have a system at play here where Nigerians insist that foreigners are the ones coming to perpetrate the bulk of these crimes, like the one we're seeing in Sokoto now. We're saying they are foreigners coming to do here. What can we do with technology to secure our borders?
Let me just put it straight to you. A country that has no borders, or the border is weak, or the border is porous, is not a country. It could continue to be a country on a map. It can never be a nation. A borderless, weak border country is not a nation and cannot attain to nations. That's why we are talking about balancing investment in manpower and technology. You see what happened, what won the election for President Trump is the economy and the immigration. Many people may misunderstood or still misunderstanding what he's saying. You see, if you are illegally in a country, there are a lot of illegal immigrants in Nigeria now. And if you do the data analysis, majority of the crime being committed in Nigeria are committed by them. And so you just need to say the truth. You understand what I'm saying? It is difficult to get somebody who is a responsible citizen to come and carry gun against the other citizens. It's difficult. But people does not have identity, who are crime. They live by crime. You can easily, due to the situation in the country, recruit those people. So let's engage technology to secure our border. We can do that. Let's have partnership with other countries around us. You understand what I'm saying? Let's have regional intelligence, technology, border keeping. Most of these things you need human being to be there. That's my argument on the issue of foreign ranger. When Mr. President came here and said, I want to put foreign ranger. I put a presentation to them. I said, listen, yes, there are some forests you will need foreign ranger. There are some forests you don't need foreign ranger as a default. You need technology to see what is happening there, surveillance camera, drone sessions, put those things around. Then, area that you don't think you can put human being there, you put human being there. It's all about balancing investment in manpower and technology, essential for enhancing national security capacity. We don't even have our blueprint. I've been asking on the pages of paper and in discussion symposium, where is our national security blueprint? Let's stakeholder discuss on this. What is our budget on this? How can we tap into global partnership in order to put this bill and make things more secure for Nigeria? Nigeria can build a comprehensive security infrastructure. The most comprehensive your infrastructure, security infrastructure is, the more you are secure. And the more you can have what we call robust economy. You see, you need human expertise with cutting-edge tools, which you call technology, for preemptive and effective responses to security challenges. You need it to gather intelligence. You need it to process data security. You process them accurately, and you become more precise. Supposing we have been doing this over the years. I remember in the time they go to ECOMOG, even those years when technology has not been so prolific as we are now, they can also fight and win. But now that technology is the space, technology is the tools, what are we doing about investing in human capacity? What are we doing about investing in technology? Basically, what I'm telling us, my response to that is that the balancing is within what is your investment in manpower commensurately with technology. And from there, we can secure whatever you need to secure.
What is your forecast for the year 2025? Putting, of course, in context, the fundamentals. We're looking at the economy, what it's telling us, what the market is saying, the inflation, the exchange rate, the security. What will you put 2025 to look like, and how do we make it better than 2024?
Now we have to agree that the solution to security, economic problem, moral issue in Nigeria, you need to adopt what we call multifaceted approach. Many things, the root cause has grown too wide. Let's bring solutions together and let's get something sorted. The economic forecast for Nigeria in 2025 is influenced by a range of factors, including inflation rate, exchange rate, and purchasing power. Bring the inflation down. You can do it by being indigenous in what we consume. You encourage local communication, farmers, bring down the inflation. I don't have a problem with the exchange rate at this stage because I know the more you produce, the more your currency. We are not producing in Nigeria. We have too much. Even what we produce in service, talk of products, we are not productive. We have population of 200 million and above. Then let's start producing. So the forecast is very simple. Bring down the inflation. IMF said we can do it. We ourselves know we can do it. We can bring down the inflation. Then what we call exchange rate, we readjust and align with international global practice. The economic challenges require targeted policy. Let government come on with winning policy. You don't go to able to bring policy to heart. You use people who are there. You use people who are competent, people who are current. I'm not comfortable when we are using people who are not current intellectually, people who are lazy intellectually, people who are not even, we don't know them, if not because of politics. So how can they come on with policies? We need robust policy, strategic planning to promote sustainable growth and resilience. Our economy needs to be very resilient, sustainable growth. For example, you diversify the economy. This is the basis of forecasting. If you can diversify the economy, then into the non-oil sector. Even before we have oil and gas, we have always been doing well. For example, in the West region, in the North region, in the agricultural produce, we have been doing well. Where are those things disappear to? We need to improve our fiscal management. You see, to control inflation, as I said, implement trade policy to stabilize, get more involved with collaboration. I mean, regional collaboration. Stop looking too much on China, or stop looking too much on US or superpower. Look in-house to synergize and look at what one or two people can do. People in media also, you see, should help towards economic recovery and long-term prosperity by adopting comprehensive economic strategy. That's what I'm saying. That's what the basis is on. Look at the structural issues, address them, promote sustainable growth. Nigerian can do what I call sustainable, robust economic solution to challenges and achieve a more favorable outlook by 2025. It's about handling those indices so that we have forget about difficulties. You can improve the outlook by working on those things I've mentioned. When you do those things, then the outlook is good for us. We have the people, we have the ideas, we have the experience.
Thank you, Professor Ojo, for coming on the program, and I wish you a very blessed day.
Thank you very much, Leah. And Nancy, thank you for having me.
It's time for that education segment, Simplified Ease, and from there we head to the markets. For more on market rates across the country, do log on to our sister website. It is www.marketnigeriatv.com. We have all the details there for you. And don't forget to always check us out on YouTube at our channel. It is about media services. Give us your comments, questions, and suggestions because we value your feedback to help us serve you better. And of course, do subscribe to the channel. Have a beautiful weekend. Be safe out there. And God bless Nigeria.